being spineless cowards with one demand. Like, it's like a dog that's like ripped off your arms and you're like hopping on one leg and you're begging the dog, can you not rip off my last leg? Hey guys, so you saw the thumbnail and that's why you're here. I normally don't like doing videos like this because liberals, progressives, Democrats in general are in a tough stance right now. So I don't like doing, you know, attacking your own team or going against your own team just because of the situation we're in. But then you're like, whoa, you're making this video. Well, hear me out. It has to do with the current situation of the government shutdown and what I think is at stake. And I'm not hearing enough emphasis, barely any. I think Pod Save America and Hassan has talked about it, and that is leveraging the shutdown for more than just one demand. Getting the win on healthcare, and that's the only goal for the Democrats, is very short-sighted and it's very short-sighted and very blind. And I'm not hearing enough of the independent media. I don't feel like the left, I'm not hearing a unison of should the Democrats be fighting harder with the government shutdown and having more demands. God Save America interview they had with Elizabeth Warren, where they spoke to her and they said, you know, they kind of picked at her multiple times about like, hey, should you leverage more? Should you leverage more? And she kept coming back to, no, healthcare is very important and we should go on, we should focus on that, and we can't afford to give up healthcare. I don't understand what fucking world that the Democrats think that they live in, where healthcare is the only concern for Americans. It is a concern for Americans. But what makes you think that Republicans are going to, even if they were to give this concession of allowing, you know, reversing some of the big ugly bill cuts to Medicaid and Obamacare, that they won't try it again and just kind of reverse course in 6 months or a year now if they were to magically win the House, keep the House next year in the midterms? What makes you think they will have this goodwill? You can't trust them. You can't, because remember when Mitch McConnell said during Obama's term that we wanted to make Obama, their number one goal was to make Obama a one-term president. And that's what Republicans are so good at. They're really good on their goals. Like, they just have these laser focus on these goals, and then the entire party just steps in line. The Democrats have no goals at all, and then they now start talking about healthcare, which is important. But what about the other demands? What about, you know, the bribes, the Qatari jet bribes? They just forgot about that. Bailouts for his Argentina buddy. He's disappearing people. The rampant abuses of power from ICE, masked agents, you know, his personal federal police, the FCC attacks on free speech, the Epstein files, one of the most important things. I know they're still working on that, but why isn't that part of the shutdown? Military uses on the Dem cities, like he calling you enemy, anybody that's on the left, enemies of the people, radicals, terrorists, like openly coming out and saying these things. And the only thing you can come up with in the shutdown is healthcare. Like, the Democrats are just so fucking, the leadership sucks. They're horrible. They're stupid people. So I'm seeing the Democrat Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries just being spineless cowards with one demand. Like, it's like a dog that's like ripped off your arms, one of your legs, and you're like hopping on one leg and you're begging the dog, can you not rip off my last leg? That's what I feel like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are doing. Like, they just don't have a spine to say anything. They were scared to talk about the troop deployment to Democrat cities because they didn't want to look weak on crime. Pathetic, just a pathetic ass party to do that. And not have a spine to say like, hey, we are against crime, but this is not the way to do it. Why can't you say that? Because they're spineless. So they don't. I have not heard of any additional demands. It's just going to be healthcare. Well, Republicans don't even want to give you that. So just what is there to lose at this point? What is there to lose at this point? What is there to lose? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, he's trying to be a pretend fascist government. If not, we're not even in the pretend phase. He's just outright doing it. And your biggest demands are just like, oh, just please give us health care. Don't rip off the last our leg. We're wobbling with no arms on a single leg. Please don't rip off of our last leg. We want to at least be upright. So back to the influencers, or not influencers, but the independent media sphere, the podcasters, independent as far as it can go. But yeah, from my understanding, most of the people are not saying anything. You know, for example, I had the list of names. Who were these names? Politics Girl, Keith Edwards, Hassan B. I don't even know how you say his YouTube channel. Hassan, Kyle, Adam Mockley, Luke Beasley, and I have had a podcast. I looked, and they're not talking about the shutdown, with the exception of Hassan. They're not talking about using the shutdown as leverage, and that's really disappointing. It's really disappointing to see the independent media, Democratic media, left wing, and for them not to be hammering on, hey, shut it down, and have more than one demand. There's like 10 different things, or there are 10 different things that Trump's done. Ask for 7. You can't even do half. So it's a real disappointment, and I feel like this is where the Democrats fail, and Republicans excel, is when they have something they want, they just go after it over and over again, and everybody from their news media to their independent news media on YouTube and the social media is all in unison. And the Democrats are failing right now, and I feel like a lot of these influencers are failing us, and it's really, really sad. And we're gonna go down a dark road. Well, we're already down the dark road, but we're not gonna be able to get any light if they don't get it together. Ezra Klein, he talked about this, saying like initially he was against the shutdown back when it happened 6 months ago or 4 months ago. But now he even says like, oh, they should do a shutdown, and I don't agree with Ezra on a lot of things, especially his recent statements about Charlie Kirk. He said, no, you should shut it down. Do not legitimize this government. Do not legitimize this government, because you can't. It's a wannabe fascist government. You can't legitimize it. And if the only leverage you have is shutting down the federal government, then you should use it to stop this fascist takeover. If everything you're seeing and all these influencers and independent medias, again, I keep calling them influencer, but independent media, if they think that it's so serious, and I've seen a lot of posts on their YouTubes about, you know, Trump doing this, Trump doing that, but that single piece of leverage that you have to use to stop all of this, or maybe 50%, maybe 70%, maybe even more, all of it, you're not like up in arms about like, hey, this is the way we need to do it. Everything you're complaining about could be fixed with the government shutdown. Because yeah, there's going to be a lot of pain right now temporarily, but we're trying to fix problems for the long term, not the short terms, because we know the Republicans will just backstab the Democrats every chance they get. There's no goodwill. They've lost their goodwill or trust that they had with these last 8 months of the president. So Democrats, grow a spine in independent media. Why don't you guys do something? Like, why don't you like fucking do something, and for once stand up for something instead of just towing the party line? Like, it's okay to go against the party line. Okay, that's how we get better. That's how we get better. Because Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are like the worst people in leadership right now. Yeah. And one thing that I wanted to leave with as a caveat, of course, there's got to be a caveat. These people I mentioned, you know, in this rant, I love them. I appreciate what they do. I really do appreciate what they do. They do it really well, and I think for, you know, the left wing, they speak well. Most of the time. Generally, I like these people, and we need people like them. So I'm not, calling for these people not to have a job and not be against them. I'm still going to listen to these people. I watch these people, and I appreciate them. But you got to call it like it is when there's an issue, because that's how we get better, right? And I'm hoping I'm hoping that Democrats will maybe realize that the Republicans aren't, doing these negotiations in good faith, especially the way that Donald Trump has sent out that stupid AI video of Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, and go like, oh well, now we're gonna demand more. It's wishful thinking, but one can hope. So politics girl, Keith Edwards, Kyle, Adam Mockley, Luke Beasley, I've had it. Those were just some of the people on the independent media sphere that I saw that were not talking about leveraging the shutdown. And I feel like that is such a big miss for us. Like, what are these people doing? These people are the experts. These are the people, the big YouTube channels, big social media channels that have the big followings, that are supposed to be that independent voice for the Democrats. And they are not talking about leveraging the shutdown. Hassan and Pod Save America, I know they have talked about leveraging the shutdown to get more out of the Republicans, but that's about it. If I missed anybody, let me know. But they're the ones that are talking about leveraging the shutdown because Republicans are doing so much damage to our government, and the only thing that the Democrats want is healthcare, which is great. That's good. You may get it, but there's no promise 6 months or a year from now that the Republicans won't backstab you and take that back also. So because of that, ask for more. Democrats need to ask for more. Ask for defunding ICE, or putting in some rules in place like no masks and no just disappearing American citizens. Donald Trump can't just take random bribes. Donald Trump can't just have FCC go after random people and random organizations for practicing free speech or their private private ways of how they handle their business. He just can't sue random media outlets for printing articles about him. He can't just send the military into Democratic cities. Those are like reasonable demands that the Democrats should be making. So wake up, please. And the last caveat is I wanted to mention, I don't know if I already mentioned it, is that it's only just me. The team is only me and 2 other people, and those 2 other people are my cats. So if I missed anything in this video that I'm going to talk about, please let me know. and I do apologize in advance if that's the case. So without further ado, let's get right into the video.